I had a question regarding your point about the increased lethality of war decreasing the likelihood of conflict, and I wanted to know your opinion on whether or not great powers are increasingly invulnerable, and if so, does that mean that the intrinsic components of the state have increased in importance? I'm inspired by Caitlin Talmadge's work on coup-proofing and how some regimes look inwards for threat rather than outwards. And if you have any thoughts on that as well.
But just start over again. What was the basic point? Because of the increased lethality of war, okay.
Yes, sir.
And what does that do?
Decrease the likelihood of...
Decreases the likelihood. Okay. Are you disagreeing with that?
No.
I'm just trying to, okay, but so what is the argument?
That if it decreases the likelihood of war, then it means that great powers have a greater incentive to look inwards for threats rather than outwards. You might agree with that.
But the point that this is what the first part I tried to make, it decreases the likelihood, okay? But the threat is there. That's the point. And by the way, Rose, this is the Schmidt point too, right? It's the idea that war is sitting there in the background, right? It's that threat that you can never take your eye off the ball. That's not a very good way of putting it, but you get what I mean, right? You constantly have to pay attention to the possibility, right, that you will end up in a war. So there's no question that the intensity of the competition varies from case to case. I don't want to get too carried away here, but it's the ever-present possibilities there, which limits your ability to look inward.